Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. This morning's topic is getting more sea minerals into our livestock. When you go out on this poor farmed out land soil, there's not a lot of minerals in there, and so we're adopting a new technology here, or a new trial practice, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
We went and got this Kansas rock salt. This was mined in Kansas at what's the Kannapolis?
Yeah, Kannapolis.
Kannapolis. And this salt is actually being mined off the ocean floor. What was ocean? I don't know how many years ago it was. A long time ago. I'll just leave it at that. And anyway, the difference between this salt, this rock salt, or sea salt, and what you get in the ocean today, of course, is the ocean has been heavily polluted. And so those minerals may not be quite as good for your animals as the ancient stuff. But what we're doing is we're putting it in these bags. These are just old mineral bags, but they're fiberglass, and they do let water in. And we put 50 pounds in there to, I don't know, if that float in that tire tank, there's probably around 700 gallons in there of water. And we're doing that morning and night. But the ratio, guys, what was the ratio?
It's 25 pounds of salt to 300 gallons, and that will service 100 head.
100 head.
Just scaled that up.
Yep. So we've got right at 300 head and around 700 gallons of water. So as the water comes in, of course, it's coming through those mineral bags. And I don't know, there's just some things that we've seen. We're trying to improve on the daily performance of the animals. We get some pink eye in the summertime. We get some lice sometimes in the spring, and I don't know, there's other things that we went to a seminar this last week. Y'all want to talk a little bit about that, Ben?
Yeah, it was up in northern Missouri. It was Steve Campbell was giving a presentation, and I mean, it was two parts to the presentation. The first part is what you're talking about, which is the I guess, like, cattle nutrition in the form of minerals.
Yes.
And then the second piece was, like, evaluating animals and selecting high performers based on physiological traits. But anyway, so like, this is just some stuff that we heard about from Steve, and we're giving it a shot and sort of, trial and error and seeing what works for us. But yeah, I mean, bottom line, we're just trying to get more nutrient dense salt into the animals.
Yes.
And that's going to help with a multitude of factors. But it was a multi-hour presentation, so it's kind of hard to
boil it all down in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It was a great presentation. I would highly recommend, if anybody ever has a chance, to go and listen to Steve Campbell. He's headquartered out of, he lives in Idaho, but he used to be partners with Gerald Fry. And him and Gerald traveled the country doing conferences together. And Gerald passed away, I don't know, it's been probably maybe 3 years ago now. And we owe a lot of gratitude to Gerald Fry. Gerald's the one that told me about South Poles, and that there were differences between cattle. There was grass genetics, and then there's cattle that are, bred and raised for grain genetics. The bigger frame, taller animals, they work good in a feedlot. Well, we're not in the feedlot business, and we're in the grass business, and so we started out with grass-fed. We were trying to use feedlot animals, and it wasn't working so good. They were just too big. We couldn't get them to finish on solely 100% grass. So we've downsized our frame. But Isaac, what else was Steve talking about in the afternoon about the phenotype of animals and the size and the shapes?
Yeah,
and
so
that was pretty interesting, wasn't it?
You got to think of it like the solo cup, the red solo cup mentality. We don't have we got your coffee cup, but that's not the same. So with the females, you want, so picture a solo cup. It's, kind of looks like that. You want the female's head.
You can use that.
Is it gonna?
Yeah, it's tapered. It's tapered. Just make sure it's shut. Don't you pour my coffee on the ground.
Oh no, that's open.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, that's open. There's
closed.
So yeah, you think of, just make sure. You think of, if this is a cow, how it's kind of tapered like this.
Oh, which end's the head on?
You want, for the females, you want the head to be on this side so that she's slightly sloping downhill on level ground. She's got a big old gut angled down, and there's a lot of other things, like you want the tail to be squashed in. Oh, we're spilling a little bit. And then that's the females. The bulls, you want them to look like this with the head on this side. You want them to be looking like they're walking uphill on level ground. You want a big deep chest on them. Kind of look almost like a buffalo.
Yeah.
With a kind of a sloping back end. The back end isn't as important as it is on the females to have a big back end, because the theory behind that is, so estrogen shuts off growth in the front first.
Yep.
So that's why a female that's smaller in the front and bigger in the back, she has a lot, she has a lot of estrogen. She's pretty well rounded. The males, on the other hand, testosterone shuts off growth in the back end first. So the bigger their front end is, the more they look like a bull.
Yep.
The more testosterone they have. So that's kind of the theory behind that. And
there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
That's just the tip of the iceberg, folks.
Since going, coming from the conference, coming here, it's like we've been looking at the cattle from a different angle.
Yep.
And we've been really picking them apart.
Yeah, we walked through them, didn't we?
Yeah, like you look at this cow right here, 89.
Yep.
She's kind of sloping downwards, but her gut, she doesn't have a very big gut, and she's got a lot of leg, a lot of space between.
Yep.
Which is kind of what you've always been
been picking for, but it just brings it all back.
And when you look at, like, say this heifer right in front of her, she's angled down, she's got that big old gut coming.
Yep.
She looks kind of like a red solo cup backwards.
And look at her legs.
Yeah, real fine bones, real short legs.
Compared to this one, longer leg.
So.
Yeah, so we went through and wrote down some numbers of cows that fit our that don't fit the criteria, and those are the ones that we'll probably be looking at selling, and just focusing more on the shorter leg, more compact bodies,
big gut,
fine bone, and
hair coat,
a host of things. On
the video.
Yeah, let's go ahead and put those in. So we're just gonna set these bags down in this tire tank. This is the one that you can do anything with. She's got her head stuck in there.
She's really nice to be able to look at, because you can poke and prod at her and she doesn't care.
You could probably put a saddle on her and ride her. So what'd you do there, Isaac? You just set it down in the water?
Down in there. They've really drank this tank down since we've been talking.
Yeah.
And then
why are you tying that string on there for?
Just as a safety precaution.
You think they might pull that bag out of there then?
I don't think they will, but
they haven't yet.
But you never know.
It's a good reason to put that string on there too.
Yeah.
Just put a slip knot on it and we can take it off. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're a wild thing. You are a pest is what you are, 864. Yeah. It's nice to have tame cattle, folks. Ones that aren't. I've had some, you didn't want to get off that four-wheeler over there because your life would be in danger. That was back in the days when we were taking cattle in to graze, custom grazing. We didn't own those cows, but
Grandma.
There's Grandma. She went through the winter, and boy, she looks pretty good for a. Well, she'd be 20 now. Yeah, she's a 20-year-old cow, and
about as old as I am.
Yeah, she's got her 18th calf in her. Yep. That cow's older than you are, Isaac. You're what are you, Isaac? 19?
I turned 20 in April.
Yeah, so Grandma's older than you are.
Yep. That's weird to think about.
Yeah, it is.
I guess there's something that we didn't mention, which is probably pretty important, which is the reason why we put the salt in the water, right?
Yeah.
Because like, I guess people would be asking, like, why don't we just put it dry?
Yes.
Like in a
great point, Ben.
In a tote.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of
it's
important.
like kind of important. But basically, like when it's the point is when it's dissolved in solution, it becomes a lot more bioavailable to the animal.
40%, 40 to 50%.
What was so it's 40 to 50%. 40 to 50% like dissolved, and then it's like I don't know what it was dry.
20%
dry, and then if there's salt like attached to a carbon atom in the leaf of a plant, that's 90% bioavailable. So it's just we have salt available in their mineral feeder dry, but this is to really just get more of those minerals in them.
Quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We're 3 weeks away from calving, folks. April 1st is when and this is March 10th?
yeah, no, it's
11th. So yeah, we're 2.5 weeks away. So we're trying to get as many minerals, the sea minerals in them as possible. And folks, there were some other things that they talked about. If you have cows that, just aren't performing on, sometimes it was all tied back to minerals.
Yeah.
Cows that walked away from their calf.
Could be a mineral deficiency.
Yeah, brand new calf, and the cow act like it wasn't even theirs. They just walk off from it.
We had a couple older cows that
Did that, and we were just perplexed, like, what in the world's going on? And so, and I guess the bottom line to this, we're going to do a trial here. We've got the Free Choice Enterprise mineral, Free Choice cafeteria style mineral up here. These cows are going to have a choice. So they can either eat the sea minerals or they can take the Free Choice. We're going to see which one. But the sea minerals, the sea salt, with we also have some apple cider vinegar we're going to try. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so it's a trial. Like,
Yeah.
We don't know how it's gonna work. We're just gonna try it out. But what we're gonna do is, it's 50 pounds of salt. You pour that in a tote, and then you take 4 gallons of apple cider vinegar and pour that on top of the 50
Make a
ounces of
slurry.
salt, and then mix it up, make a slurry, and then the next day, if there's still salt left and there's no more liquid, you just pour another gallon, and you keep doing that until all the salt is gone. And once they've consumed all the salt and the vinegar, and you just start it on over again. And that's just to kind of force feed them these sea minerals and get it in their system
Quick.
And,
Yep.
The vinegar also has
Yeah.
benefits in and of itself, not only just as an attractant for the salt, like they become more feed efficient when they're on the apple cider vinegar, and then apparently it's also alkaline forming in their body, which
Yep.
is a whole other discussion
Yep.
that we talked about. But
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess as far as like fly pressure and lice and pests and like that kind of stuff, it's really good for the animals to be on the alkaline side, because that sort of like pest, bacteria, that kind of stuff that they don't want.
They don't like that.
Yeah, those bugs, those bad bugs don't like the alkaline
So,
environment.
so guys, if you went out and your cows are covered in flies in July, is there something? We've got some ideas this year. We're going to try it.
Yeah,
You want to talk about that?
this
Just
is all according to Steve.
Yep.
Yeah.
We haven't
haven't proven any of it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's also something they talked about was the baking soda or the conditioner.
Yep.
It's
The conditioner being
Redmond salt or Redmond conditioner
Yep.
is what it's called.
Yep.
And what he said he was doing is he'd feed, was it like 50 pounds of the baking soda, natural soda, and was it 100 pounds of sugar?
Yeah.
And
Just to force feed them
just to
into.
get that attractant.
Yeah.
And it took the flies off in what, like a couple weeks or something?
Less than that.
Less than
I
that.
think it's like a couple days.
Couple
Yeah.
days, yeah.
Just because it just massively boosted their alkalinity, but it's not that, like he was saying, that's not a permanent solution. That's
Yeah.
just if you get into a bind.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and you get, your cows are going downhill with just tons and tons of flies. It's something you can
And
do.
the same way on pink eye.
Yeah.
In the middle of a pink eye outbreak, you need to get the alkalinity up of your cattle. A great way of doing that is
with the
baking soda.
Yeah.
It's natural soda out of,
I think it's
Rifle, Colorado.
Colorado.
Yep.
But they only was a semi-load or something. You can only buy
Yeah.
a semi-load. So, if you
So
can
find
source
somebody that carries it.
it,
Yep.
Yeah.
source it locally. That's the
So needless to say, we've got a lot of things that we're looking at that we're going to try, and it's going to be exciting this spring and summer just to see if we can see the results. But folks, if you stay status quo and you don't ever try anything new, don't expect to have any different results. So we're always trying to improve on what we're doing, and we've got a pretty nice herd of cattle out there, but I think we can do better, and that's what we're all about. Getting better performance, and this program we're talking about, folks, it's going to be a lot cheaper on our mineral program than what we were running.
Yeah.
And
as
if we
long
get,
as it works.
as long as it works. If it doesn't work, we're going to go.
Yeah.
You can't do something that just because it's cheaper, and you have terrible results. You don't want to do that.
No, no.
So anyway, we're always looking at the next frontier, so to speak. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Those of y'all new to the channel, hit that subscribe button on the way out, and hit that little bell. That'll send you a reminder every time I post a video. You'll get a notice on that. Y'all have a good one.